There has been a somewhat disturbing set of events that warrant recording, so I shall endeavour to explain them in precise detail. Today, a culinary request was sent to the Central Cafeteria's terminal from one of the special accommodation units aboard the station. The occupant of the aforementioned unit is a member of a species that hails from a remote region of the galaxy located within Western Sector 501. They call themselves humans, and have only recently begun interacting with the galactic community as a whole. In fact, it has been a scant 100 years since their first discovery by the Melrocks, which hardly qualifies for even a passing moment for many of the longer-lived members of the Galactic Council. Many species see humans as somewhat of a strange and reckless race of beings, including myself. As commander of the Zarkosian Penitent Legion, I have had personal interactions with many of the galaxy's most eccentric beings. From the spontaneously combustible Charonians to the bioorganic alumni AI, I maintain the opinion that humans are the most unpredictable and contradictory species I have ever had the misfortune of caring for. The human that is currently in our care is registered as Hector Alvaro Manuel Luis Alfonso Fuentes. Upon reading the name for confirmation during processing, it has come to our attention that this is a common naming convention for many humans, notably ones from their home planet of Earth. Hector, as he prefers to be called, has been unnaturally compliant in his procedural interviews, expressing that our facility is pretty nice for a prison. Despite reminding him that our facility's purpose is the reintegration of troubled individuals back into society, he insists on his own views of it, stating that he had a bit of experience in such places during his youth. Nevertheless, Hector is the first human that I hold responsibility over, and, initially, one of the most pleasant. Unlike the majority of guests that our facility cares for, Hector has not been involved in a single incident which warranted disciplinary measures. In a show of unexpected goodwill, Hector has actually assisted my staff on numerous occasions in quelling various incidents that have occurred within the facility, most notably those of the Kotoi. He claims that the bipedal predators bear a striking resemblance to a type of skittish carnivore native to his homeland on Earth, and that they can be handled in a relatively simple manner. Had I not learned of the events that would unfold later on, I would have deemed Hector as a suitable individual to take on the duties of an auxiliary staff member. 3 weeks after his initial arrival at the station was when the rumours began to circulate. The Furos in our care, notorious for being highly aggressive avian militants, actively began to request psychological hearings with staff members to deal with what was found to be a deep-set revulsion, all directed towards a single individual, Hector. Apparently, it would seem that he had been consuming their excretions, specifically the unfertilized solid feces that the Furos expel from their bodies once daily. When questioned about this strange act, Hector asserts that they are similar to the eggs that are commonly eaten on Earth and, therefore, a delicacy to be savoured aboard the station. The space station staff, myself included, have been briefed on the bizarre diets of humans, yet it does not lessen the impact of learning such things firsthand. In response to so many requests for psychological care for the traumatized Furos, I have enacted a strict no-contact order between the avians and Hector. In order to quell any unease that Hector may have in response to such a policy, I have requested that his daily allotment of nutrient paste be supplemented with 5 extra grams of protein. I had hoped that this would be the only incident of his kind. Less than 3 days after the separation order, I began to receive several new complaints from the Marulian population. Unlike the Furos, the Marulians are quite docile and fairly compliant to our enacted policies. However, all staff members have been warned of the dangers of upsetting a Marulian and creating a possible rage-induced stampede of the powerful bovines. Although there have been no notable incidents involving the Marulians in our care, their physically imposing stature always presents an element of danger. To have even a single complaint from the bovines is peculiar, but for them to request psychological care twice within a day warranted further investigation. Once again, the common cause for all of them stemmed from Hector. Unlike the Furos, the nature of these incidents is not from a position of disgust, but rather concern. The Marulians had observed Hector consuming their naturally produced growth fluids on several occasions, which has sparked a considerable worry for the human's physical health. It has been long known that Marulian growth fluid is a toxic liquid that causes severe damage to the drinker's digestive system. For a human to be able to consume it repeatedly for many days is a biological anomaly. When I discussed the growth fluid with Hector, he stared at me with a puzzled expression. "Did you mean the milk? Yeah. A lot of humans aren't able to drink it, but I've always drank a glass every day when I was a kid. Even the ones that aren't able to drink it still do. It doesn't kill them or anything, but they tend to have some bowel problems for a bit. I was just thinking that it's a waste for us to keep throwing out the milk that we get from those cows. I mean, we're helping to relieve the pressure on those udders of theirs, but why do we have to treat their milk like it's some kind of trash?" Once again, Hector's explanation matched what we had on file about the odd diets of humans living on Earth. Part of me is beginning to cherish the fact that most humans prefer to live away from their home planet. Those that regularly interact with the galaxy have already adjusted to subsiding on nutrient paste and synthetic foodstuffs. From Hector's personal anecdotes, my impression of Earth is that of a deaf world, which only reinforces how incredible it was for humanity to be able to leave such a harsh landscape at all. As of this log, Hector has been relocated to a personal dwelling so that he may not cause any further disturbances with the other species in our care. My staff have been excessively busy with psychological hearings of affected individuals and our daily operations on the space station. I have personally chosen to oversee Hector's actions and requests in order to learn more of the human diet and to prevent further incidents. He has frequently requested an illegal plant listed as pepper when translated, but upon asking Hector for clarity, he insists that it is called chili and an essential ingredient for his diet. A short search on the information terminal has shown that the substance is the cause for members of several species being burned alive due to its destructive nature. Once again, I am both fearful and interested in the humans, along with the many strange and seemingly unnatural things that are consumed in their diets.